Well, welcome along. This is ShrimpNet, the podcast of the Shrimps Trust. Joining myself and Joel today, we have our long-suffering board member, Charlie Appleyard, who will be joining us, I'm reliably informed. But also we have new signing attacking midfielder, Callum Cooke. Thanks for joining us, Callum.
Anytime.
I like the way are you hot desk in there? Are you a day? Have you no chair in there?
So I'm actually at my girlfriend's and she's moved into a new build, so it's still we're in the process of sorting it out. So I feel with the lighting and stuff, this is the best place to be. She hasn't unfortunately got a desk yet for us, so we'll have to make do for now.
Sorry to point that out, but yeah, looks nice. Looks nicely finished. It's all white.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's ideal. I'm actually in the kitchen, believe it or not.
But, I thought it sounded a bit echoey.
Yeah, well, apologies for that. But like I said, there's no we haven't long moved in, so unfortunately, like I said, we have to make do with what we've got at the moment.
No, damn right. Well, you're right. You can always make some toast if you get bored with this. So. And here's Charlie. Charlie, welcome along.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, mate. All right.
Right. So, where do we start? Well, obviously, Callum, you've joined us shall we say, an interesting time in Morecambe Football Club season. 9 out of the last 11 games we haven't scored. Our last 3 fixtures, as you're probably aware, Crewe, Colchester, Bradford, have all ended in a 1-0 defeat. So we're going to talk about the Colchester and the Bradford games. We'll have a little bit on the update from the board. We'll have a little bit of an update on the trust. And we'll have a little bit of update on how you come to get the short straw and be playing for Morecambe, Callum. So, Colchester game last Saturday, not a right lot in it. We didn't create much from what I saw of it, but as usual, deflected goal and things going against us. I thought it was, to be fair, and I'm going to be honest here, I thought it was two sides who looked like they were battling to try and get better, Joel.
Yeah, I mean, watching the game back, especially when it was 11v11, I thought it was pretty tight. Both sides having a bit of a probe. I don't think there was anything massively clear cut in the way of chances, but I think we were putting in a decent enough performance. We were, creating little. I think we had a couple of half chances without creating anything major. I think they've had a couple of sniffs, a couple of half chances, and then I think it probably would have continued in a relatively similar fashion into the second half, and maybe we might have been able to nick a goal or just get ahead in the game and hold out. But obviously, it wasn't to be with the red card stuff, which obviously very frustrating. Now we've kind of seen the replay back. He hasn't kicked him in the face. He's kind of caught him with a stray hand, which happens. We saw it happen to Tom White on Tuesday night against Bradford, and it got given as a free kick, and rightly so. And Angol's
and no booking, free kick,
but no booking. And to us, I think the decision on the Bradford game was the correct one. I think Angol's caught him. Yeah, it happens, but I don't think it's a red card. But anyway, just got to crack on with it, haven't we?
We have, unfortunately, and. Looking at it in plain terms, obviously, welcome to the club, Callum. You saw it all unfolded in front of your very eyes. Do you think it was a sending off?
Are we on about Lee? Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I'm old school. I'm a North East lad, so I've been brought up getting lumps kicked out of us and stuff. And for me, the game's just gone ridiculously soft.
You're right.
As you can see, there's absolutely nothing in it. And if I'm being brutally honest, I think the FA need to have a good look at themselves over it. It's in my opinion, a disgrace that it hasn't been overturned. I know Lee playing with him from previous clubs. And he puts himself about, he makes himself known to defenders, and as a striker, as a big target man, that's what you need to do. And of course, you're going to get a little bit of argy-bargy, etc. But I think a lot of that's going out the game now, if I'm honest, and I don't like the way the game's going in terms of that. So for me, I've seen it back. You have obviously seen it back. I'll be honest, I don't even think he catches him. Obviously, the lad who's gone down knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of the game nowadays. Again, I don't like this side of football and what football's turning into, because there is a lot of, whatever you want to call it, play acting.
Cheating,
yeah. Well, it is, because like Joel said, I think 11v11, we go on and win the game. It was a tight affair, of course it was. I mean, obviously, I've only been in the door a couple of weeks, but I can see the lads are starting to, or maybe not starting to now, but I can see them playing a little bit within themselves. So it was a very cagey and tight affair, and obviously when that happened, the referee killed the game, and it wasn't just that decision. We have to be brutally honest. If you've seen the game back, I don't like to discredit referees because it's a tough job. We all know that, but I think the referee that day was really poor. I can't remember him giving us one decision. Normally referees even it out. Like I said, I can't remember him even giving us one decision. And like I said, to go to the panel, whoever this panel is, and not get it overturned, it's just, in my opinion, it's shocking.
It's a completely different thing, Charlie. But I was bringing to the attention. I put on one of the message boards this week that David Brooks of Bournemouth clotheslined Cucurella of Chelsea when Chelsea were on a quick attack and the keeper threw it out to him. And he clotheslined him deliberately. And the ref gave it as a red, and VAR overturned it into a yellow. And it's like saying it isn't violent conduct. Well, if you clothesline somebody, that is violent conduct. Now, what I didn't like about the decision on Lee Angol was it was an accidental one. Everybody could see that. And if he did touch him, he just flicked him because he was off balance because he was on one leg. So I thought, oh, they will overturn that because they overturned the Stuart Mellish one against us when the lad from Carlisle got sent off. Quite rightly overturned.
He's been injured for how long? 2 months?
Yeah.
As if he's going to come back after 2 months layoff, sat there in the gym on the treatment table, getting pissed off he's not playing, and then comes back in and consciously kicks someone half a match into his renewed season. He's not going to do that, is he?
No chance. It is.
The liner was go for a throw in.
Yeah, he didn't even give a free kick, did he? Lino just went, fine. Yeah, you're right. But anyway,
he's going to want to play. He's not going to want to get sent off.
No.
To get sent off for violent conduct, you have to actually consciously do. He's not going to jeopardise his place in the team or the team situation.
Yeah, I agree. But we can't change what's done. Another 1-0 defeat. We moved on to Tuesday night to Bradford. A strange sort of game. Bradford started really, really well. Went off like a train. Scored. We had sort of one half chance with Guion. We defended quite well. We kept them to corners and long range shots. Harry made a couple of good saves, which was good. Complete change round in the second half, though, Joel. We really went for it, and really good header by Max Taylor. Perhaps Guion could have done better at the back post from Adam Lewis's cross. Just story of our season as usual. Yeah,
I thought the first 10, 15 minutes Bradford were excellent.
They were,
and I was worried. I was thinking, this does look like the team that's just kind of put a halt to Walsall's kind of incredible 9-game winning run, beating them 3-0 at Valley Parade. I thought they were all over us. But I'd say after about 15 minutes, we steadied the ship. I was texting a Bradford fan who I know, who's a mate of mine, and we kind of agreed. I thought after 15 minutes, we steadied things, and I thought the rest of the half was pretty even. We had a couple of sniffs going forward. And then the goal, I thought the game was pretty even by the time that they scored. I thought it evened out a bit by them. And it's a bit, they've got a shot, it's heading straight towards Burgoyne, it's taken a nick, it's ended up falling really nicely for one of their defenders, for one of their attackers. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think the overall story is, like you say, the second half, I thought we kicked on nicely, having kind of steadied the ship after the first 15 minutes and had a bit of a shape change. I thought Harvey McAdam was really exceptional in the second half. I think, he did a really good job in that kind of more centre midfield 6-8 kind of position. But yeah, I think we've matched a team who are really, I think they're a good side, Bradford, and they've been in a really good run recently. And we matched a team who's pushing for promotion and deservedly so. But we've kind of matched them in between the boxes, but we've not had quite enough in the final third to really unlock the door. And for all of it being a good performance, I think we've had poor shots in the end.
Yeah.
But I think we know what the problem is. It's 10th, 11th, 1-0 loss of the season. It's not being overrun by teams. It's not shipping loads of goals. It's just having that little bit of magic to unlock the door. And hopefully that's something we can improve on in coming weeks. Obviously, we've got Callum in the door now, who is number 10, kind of attacking field player. I'm sure he'll back himself to unlock a few doors. Hopefully, we can get a few more goals in.
And looking at it, Callum, must have been strange going back to your old club with Derek as your boss, but this time on the opposite side. But a fairly all-round decent performance, but yet again the same story. 1-0, not really taking our chances. Keeper made a good save from Max Taylor's header, but that was probably our best chance of the game. But you got on yourself, and we pressed them back. And the Bradford fans that I spoke to said, as per usual, and I'm getting this, we've had it off Crewe fans, we've had it off Port Vale fans. You keep playing like that, and you'll be all right. And yet again, we're still get nothing.
Yeah, so first and foremost, obviously for me to go back to Valley Parade, it was a bit of a special game for me. I got a good reception as well from the fans because I had a really good spell there for 3 years I was there. And obviously I was a bit taken back by it, to be honest with you. But I have a really good respect from them, and obviously I respect them highly. It's a fantastic football club. And as you said there, obviously, they're a fantastic team this year. They are doing really well. I think they're now third in the league after Doncaster's win last night. And they're going to be there or thereabouts for the automatics. And obviously, like you have touched on there, we've gone toe-to-toe with them. I'll be honest, I didn't really look too much into the season before I come in. But obviously, when I was through the door, I come in about a few days before I officially signing and stuff. So I've done a little bit of digging into the results and stuff, and I did see a lot of 1-0s. I'm thinking, okay, right, like maybe it's not too bad. And I've had a bit of a shock, to be honest with you, because although we're bottom of the league, we're not, like you touched on there, we're not getting blown away by anybody.
No.
Football's a game of very fine margins, and when you talk about the Colchester game, for example, I do really believe we'd have went on and won that game. I felt they were very fragile, and yeah, okay, they had a bit more of the ball in the first half, but I think Bradford, it was the same on Tuesday night, but the second half we come out and we had a right goal, but it can't just be for 45 minutes. We have to sustain that for the majority of the game to give us obviously the best chance to get 3 points. But like you said, to go toe-to-toe with them, obviously Bradford, who were on their patch as well, which is obviously a difficult place to go. I know fine well. Obviously, I've been a home player there for a few years, and when the crowd gets behind you, it is like a 12th man. It's a credit to them. But like in the second half, all I really heard was our fans singing the right song, and I think it helped the lads. I know it's a cliche, but when you hear that and it does act and play like a 12th man, it obviously spurs you on. And obviously it was disappointing. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. We've been beat again. And obviously we're all disappointed. But obviously speaking to a few people after the game, like speaking to my family who know, so as an example, I spoke to my dad after the game and he knows a few people who were Bradford fans he works with. He was like, I can't believe he's in that position. He's aren't a bad footballing side at all. It's just them fine little details in the final third, in probably both boxes anyways, because obviously we're still conceding. We maybe need to sharpen up on that as well in terms of keeping clean sheets. So obviously that goes a long way. And then obviously on the other side, we do need to score more goals, as simple as that. And like Joel said there, that's why I've hopefully come in. I want to add to that. So I've obviously got personal targets. It was always going to be a bit difficult for me. I literally haven't kicked the ball since, I think, the last competitive game before Crewe was the last game of the season last year for Hartlepool, and it was at Dorking away, and I think that was the 26th of April off my memory. So I'm always going to have to play a catch-up, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to be in the door about 3 weeks, but I'm feeling really fit, and I'm getting that sharpness back, and I'll continue to get even sharper. Obviously playing games and stuff. So yeah, like I said, like Joel said there, I'll back myself to the hills in terms of ability. So now I need to let me football do the talking, and hopefully starting on Saturday with a more than winnable game against Fleetwood, hopefully I can start and contribute to that.
And I'll touch on something that Callum touched on there, Charlie. The fans, we probably took about 250 to Bradford. They outsung Bradford all game. They were absolutely magnificent, weren't they?
They outsung every week, wherever we are, whether Chelsea or Valley Parade. It's interesting what Callum said about the players maybe playing with themselves. Something's got to give soon, because it's not like we were getting relegated from League One. We were getting panned 5-0 by Sheffield Wednesday, and then 5-0 by Lincoln. And there's even a patch in. I think there's even a patch we got in the promotion season when we lost like 4-0 to Crawley, and even when Derek was previously managed on previous occasions, we've had some heavy defeats. We're only letting one goal in a match.
Yeah,
and it's so frustrating. It's like, say, fine margins. We've got to come off someone's ass, or off their nether regions, like Percival in the semi-final.
Yeah,
something's got to, a little spark just gets it going. A couple of games when we had those fine margin, small numbers of chances when we got promoted. We had Mendes, Gomez, Stockton, John O'Sullivan, plus a few others I can't think of off the top of my head. But to take chances, we just need somebody to take a couple of chances, start playing with outwardly with more confidence, and surely we're gonna be fine. We're running out of time, but we'll be more otherwise, would it?
No, true enough. It's all the joys of watching your football team. Obviously, we've had good news this week with the EFL confirming that we can make one or two signings, or however many. And obviously, we know we missed out on a couple last week. One of them, sadly, optioned somewhere else, which is fair enough. But there's still the possibility of others coming in. Then, Charlie, is there?
There is. Derek's working his hind off at the moment to try and sort it out, but it wasn't ideal, obviously. There's another thing for the board of directors to deal with that is out of our control, but hopefully we managed to sort it. Fair play to Jason, really. I know he obviously is meant to be unpopular, but he did actually sort it out in the end.
Could have done with it straight away, like.
Of course. But to be fair to him for once, he did actually get it sorted. So we have a chance, and I hope that we can magic something up. But Derek's really, really trying his best, and we'll hopefully get 2-3 more in. Hopefully.
Yeah, if anybody can do it, it probably is the best person to do it is Derek, isn't it? Because he's got a good network. So moving on, I touch on. I'll be honest here. I was, the last home game against Crewe. I literally was. I thought we played really, really well. As you know, Callum, it was your first game. I thought we played really well, given Crewe's position, just like Bradford. I thought we matched them. The difference was they took the chance. We created probably 5 or 6 half chances. Didn't quite fall for us, but it isn't beyond the realms of am I dreaming? Tell me I'm wrong. But it isn't beyond the realms, Joel, Callum and Charlie, of us to go and we could win 4 or 5 on the bounce, because it does look like it's there, doesn't it, Joel?
Yeah, I don't think there's too much that needs to really get overturned. Well, there doesn't need to be an overhaul in how we're playing. I think it's just a matter of, again, I think the word chances, you can kind of debate about what exactly it might mean in a certain context. And I think for me, in this context, it more means kind of being in good areas. I think Derek's touched on it in his interviews. I think the issue is we're not having enough good shots and good actual kind of openings to shoot. I don't think I think that's the issue. It's not like we're spooning open goals or anything, because we're not. I think it's more that we're getting into those decent areas, moving up the pitch nicely. We're getting into little spots around the 18-yard box, but then we're just not quite finding that pass, that run, that little bit of like stardust or whatever just to kind of unlock a defence. And I think, you see with Crewe, the goal they have scored, it's that little bit of magic. It's the run from Cooney in behind, the cutback, the little bit of movement from I think it was Long, who kind of dragged to the edge of the 6-yard box. That little bit of something to just find that opening. And I think ultimately, you look back at the Crewe game, and I think Jan Songo is the man who's had the most shots for us.
Yeah, that's right. And like we said last week,
as much as we
you
value
relied on Jan for goals.
Yeah, we probably don't want him to be the one that we're kind of relying on for goals. And hopefully we can start to find those little kind of keys to unpick locks. So
coming in from the outside, Callum, you touched on it yourself. You're quite surprised because obviously the 3 games that you've been there, we've lost them all 1-0, but we've given a good account of ourselves in probably 70-75% of each of those games.
Yeah, like you say, we've obviously given a good account of ourselves, and we've played some decent stuff from our defensive third to the middle third. It's just them final touches now, like Joel said there. Don't want to disagree with Joel there, but just in terms of the Crewe goal, he said it was a little bit of magic to get their goal. For me, it was just basic football. It was a 3rd-man run to the byline, the cutback. That's just something simple. So just in terms of that's maybe something we need to work on, just to maybe get a pattern of play. But obviously, footballers need an understanding with each other, and the more games you play with each other. Listen, obviously, I know we're running out of time, which is without stating the obvious. But just in terms of like, if I'm picked in terms of my game, like that is my game in terms of unlocking defences, through balls and stuff. So that's what I obviously want to be helping towards. And like I said, sometimes it's just basic play where it's a pass set, 3rd-man run across and a tap in. That's what the Crewe goal was like. So it doesn't have to be a little bit of magic. Obviously, that's nice, don't get me wrong. But sometimes the best football is simple football. And if you're all singing off the same hymn sheet, then the goals will come. So I think, trust me, the gaffer's working on it really hard in training in terms of getting the crossing and finishing drills going. I've been in training today, and obviously I didn't start on Tuesday, so I was outside on the turf training. And one of the drills was a crossing and finishing drill. And to be fair, the lads looked on it. We were scoring a lot of goals, and obviously we need to just keep working at that and keep getting the connections with each other. So as an example, I'm a number 10, if you like, on attacking midfielder. So I need a connection with my front men, because obviously that's vitally important. If he's coming short, I need to be going in behind, and vice versa. So it's just about getting them connections and stuff. And like I said, I'll go back to it when I come in. Obviously, looking from the outside in, you're thinking, oh, they're really struggling. And results-wise, we are, and we do need a little bit of a lift, don't get me wrong. And it needs to happen now, because let's not kid ourselves.
No.
Time's running out for us. But like I said there, we actually play some decent stuff. It's just them final touches we need to touch up on now, and hopefully turn these 1-0 defeats maybe into 1-0 wins. And listen, football's a strange game, lads. We're talking about all this now, and something might just click. We might spank Fleetwood 3-4-0. You never know. It's a crazy game, football, and it might be that fluke. Well, not fluke. It might be that freak result that can sort of kickstart us. And like Charlie touched on it there in terms of when I said about the lads playing within themselves. Football breeds confidence. Football matches breeds confidence, and obviously the lads, like you said there, I can't remember. Don't quote me on this. I think you said it was 9 defeats in the last 11 now. Without stating the obvious, confidence isn't going to be high. But
no.
I've been in this situation before. Unfortunately, I've been relegated out of this league, and let me tell you, it's not nice at all. So I don't want to be on the receiving end of that again. So I'm just trying to keep positive around the place, keep the lads' spirits high. And to be fair, there's a lot of experience in the changing room, and it's a good changing room as well. I've been in a lot worse, trust me. So I am still positive about the situation. Like you said, it's not like we're getting steamrolled every game. It's just like I keep going back to it, it's just them final little details that we now need to touch up. And obviously we can't keep saying it needs to be the next game, blah, blah, blah. It needs to happen now, and that's obviously starting Saturday.
Yeah, and it's a tough game Saturday, Charlie. Fleetwood at home midweek, Walsall midweek. Walsall a bit of a crisis, 2 straight defeats. And Fleetwood gave us a really good game. They battered us at their place in the first half last.
We did 2-2, wasn't it?
In September, yeah, they absolutely battered us, and we played well second half, to be fair, and probably did deserve a point. But it ain't going to be easy. But they've changed manager since then, and Pete Wild's gone in there, and he's got a good record both at Halifax and at Barrow of playing decent football. So it is going to be a tough game, but they are beatable. They are where they are in the league, and we are where we are in the league. But you've got to put that aside, haven't you?
Look, we play well against the good teams.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
we've just gone through it all. We're just good. We're just as good a team as any other team in the league, apart from finishing it off. You know, Fleetwood's a good chance to. If the crowd will be behind us a bit more like a local derby, with more away fans, better atmosphere, get them going a bit, and yeah, I don't fear them at all. I'm sure the lads do either.
Well, I sincerely hope so, but it's you never know what you're going to get, do you? And I don't mean life is like a box of chocolates. I'm not going there.
But if we can get 2 or 3 extra guys in the next 3 or 4 days, you know, Callum's obviously very positive influence there. You know, it's great to see. New signings to freshen up. It's like any company when you get some new blood in, keen, motivated, positive, and you know, say Callum gets a goal on Saturday. Oh, there's someone who can score for us, and you know, confidence can go from there.
No pressure, Cal.
I like that pressure. You know, like I know what I'm coming into, and to have that pressure on me back, it sort of makes me play better. Like I said, I've been in this situation before, my previous club. And it's, like I said, it's not nice. So I'll be doing everything I can to help the lads try and get out of this because, like I said, it's awful having a relegation on your CV. But like I said, you've just got to try and stay positive. So I know I'm only new in the door, but I've just tried to get around the lads and just try and be confident. A few of the lads have played with me. They know what I'm all about in terms of on the pitch and stuff. And like I said, it's them little connections that I need to form. Obviously, keep them with them, the likes of Hendo, Lee, Jan, who I've played with, but then obviously I need to form the other ones with the other lads. So it's obviously a great opportunity. It'll be a fantastic game on Saturday. I'm going to say it'll be a good atmosphere because I'm going to say they'll probably bring a couple of fans with them with it just being around the corner. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Fingers crossed. I get the nod. I can't lie, I was disappointed to go back to Bradford and not be starting. But I think the plan wasn't even to play as long as what I did on Saturday because I'm like I said, I'm new in the door and the last thing I'm doing is breaking down straight away. So to get through 70 minutes on Saturday or whatever it was, 75, and then get another 25, 30 minute spell on Tuesday night, it's all building me up. And like I said, I feel like I'm there or thereabouts now. So
the last thing you want to do is go overplay and get injured, mate.
Sorry?
The last thing you want to do is overplay yourself and get injured.
Well, that's it. Like, obviously, me being a footballer, I want to play every game, and that's what I'm paid to do. I love doing it. But the gaffer was probably right in what he'd done in terms of you don't want to flog me and potentially be out for 4, 5, 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? So, fair play to the gaffer. Obviously, I was disappointed being a footballer. You want to play, but I think the gaffer was thinking properly in terms of that. But yeah, like I say, Saturday's a new game, and obviously we'll probably find out tomorrow the team and stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Well, good luck. Looking at your, I mean, tell me if this is wrong, but the information that we've received is obviously that you're at Hartlepool for like was it 3 seasons?
No, I was at Hartlepool. I was at Bradford, my previous club before Hartlepool for 3 years. Yeah. And then I went to Hartlepool for two seasons.
For 2 seasons. Yeah. So obviously that's who you're referring to as getting relegated is Hartlepool. But Hartlepool released you for whatever reason. And the information that I've got is that you've been keeping yourself fit playing in the Peter Lee Sunday League. Is that right?
Yeah, so my mates just completely out the blue. I think it was sometime in September. Obviously, I've been watching all the games, and it's been it's literally been tearing us apart. Seeing all my friends who I know in the game, and I'm sat at home on a Saturday, 3:00. If you ask me, my missus and my family, obviously they'll tell you how much it's been really tearing us up. So just to get a little bit of football fitness back into my legs, playing with my mates on a Sunday, it was a nice little release, and I honestly really enjoyed it. But again, that was just purely to get some football fitness into me, because you can do all the running in the world.
Yeah.
It's all straight line. It's all a load of nonsense, to be honest. The only way you get fit, football fit, is by actually playing football. So when my mates asked us, to be fair, obviously your mates being your mates, they've been asking us to have a game with them for years, and obviously I couldn't. But we was obviously still waiting for a contract. They just asked us, said, "Do you fancy a game? Keep yourself ticking over and stuff." And like I said, I really enjoyed it.
I bet you must have been running games. You must have been sat there thinking, I can do this in my sleep.
Well,
England under 17, 18, 16s, and you're kicking about on a ploughed field up in Peterlee.
Yeah, well, I scored a few goals and that, so I don't know, all right, I guess. But obviously, I laugh about it now. But looking back, thinking about it with my head on, it was probably not the right thing to do, because I was playing on like cow fields, and it's
exactly.
Like, if I get injured here, do you know what I mean? So my dad wasn't happy about it, put it that way. I got it in the neck every Sunday evening when I went home, and but obviously he didn't really understand it from the point of view. I needed that just to get like I said, the football fitness in my legs, and again, I've got no regrets about it. Maybe looking back, it was a little bit silly, just in terms of if I got injured, then what? But I didn't. And like I said, it ticked me over nicely, and I don't regret it one bit, to be honest with you. Like I said, it was a nice little release.
How good's their number 9?
Sorry?
How good's their number 9 of that team? Is he available?
He's quick, he's pacey, and to be fair, he does score goals for me mates.
Get him in.
I might have to give Derek his number.
Well, bloody hurry up, Cal. We need somebody.
Well,
how funny would that be if you got him in and he scored a hat-trick on Saturday?
I know, yeah, that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? But he's got a bit of a beer belly, so I don't think he'll last 10 minutes.
Some of the best players have. Never mind. So, obviously, how did you come and it was a pretty... Did Derek approach you and just say, we need an attacking midfielder, come and play with us? Or was it a case of you hulking yourself round, or what? How did it happen?
So basically, when I left Hartlepool, I was obviously out of contract, and I said to my agent, listen, I'm at the age where I'd love to experience something different in football, so i.e. abroad.
Not Peterlee Sunday League.
No, definitely not that. But I wanted to experience abroad. I always said to my family, if I haven't made it to like the championship minimum level by my age now, 27, 28, then I do want to go abroad, because the chance of getting there now it's now and impossible, to be honest with you, because the game's going, how do I say this? The game's, a lot of teams like to, basically football's not football anymore. It's like a business. So they buy young players to then develop them and sell them on. It's like I said, football's getting a bit ruined with it, to be honest with you. I always say to my friends and family, I'd love to have played in the 80s and 90s. Not for the pictures, mind, because some of them were shocking. But like looking back at old footage, but just in terms of like, that was pure football. Where we kicking lumps out of each other, and like I said, it's just pure football. Whereas now it is just purely a business, really. Clubs like to develop lads and then sell them on. But yeah, so I was trying to wait for an opportunity abroad to come up, and I did have a few sniffs, but they weren't really ideal for me. And we're literally talking across the globe.
Yeah.
But in January, I said to my agent, listen, I need to get sorted. I was banging the door down every month saying, because like I said to you about 10 minutes ago, I was watching my mates on a Saturday, and it was honestly tearing me apart. So it's been probably the most stressful period of my life, to tell you the truth. But literally out of nowhere, I sort of lost all hope, to be honest with you. But my agent just texts us one day and says, Derek has been on the phone to me and he wants you to go in and train. So yeah, I went in on that day, and the following day I was asked to go back, and then it was the Friday before the lads went to Chelsea, and after training just pulled us aside and was like, yeah, I've seen enough. Like, obviously he knew about us anyway.
Yeah.
Just to prove me fitness. But he said, yeah, we're going to be in touch over the weekend. Make sure you tell your agent, but we're going to offer you a deal. So I was like, oh, all right, champion, that's perfect music to my ears. And I sort of owe it to the gaffer because he's obviously took that chance on me. I mean, looking from the outside and in terms of me, a lot of teams and managers and people high up in these clubs will have probably been put off by the lack of game time this season. So to be given the opportunity to represent Morecambe, which is a fantastic football club as well, I've been surprised again by it. But again, it's because of the gaffer. He's obviously getting us in the door, and thankfully to him, like I'm back in a job again. So I feel like I owe it to him as well to obviously you do it for yourself and your family, don't get me wrong. You give 100% every game, but I feel a little bit more for him as well, because he's got me back into football at a professional level now. So, like I said, I'm just raring to get playing games on a consistent basis now. And like I said, we've got a good chance on Saturday, which is more than a winnable game, by the way. So yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm in from the start from our point of view, and I can hopefully contribute.
And you say you thrive under pressure, so I'll put pressure on. Hat-trick would be great. Joel, you'll have some questions before he has to go.
Yeah, I'll try and keep it quite quick, Cal, because I know you got to head off in a few minutes. But I thought it was really interesting what you said about scoring goals, and obviously what Crew did with the third man run. And I guess maybe it's kind of made me reflect and think, just calling it like, I don't know, Stardust, bit of magic, whatever, bit of brilliance. Is that maybe kind of like almost like over mystifying what it takes to score a goal? Is it sometimes just a bit more simple, having a nice little combination?
Yeah, obviously we all like a bit of magic. Football's an entertainment business, do you know what I mean? And we all want to be entertained, and we all want to get fans off the seats by whipping a 30-yarder into the top corner or something. But sometimes it's literally just as simple as the Crew goal, where off the top of my head, I think it was a passing side. He's gone on the run and he's been slipped in. And then it's literally a pull back and a tap in. Something so basic as that. That's obviously what we need. I mean, it'd be nice, like I said, to score one of them goals in terms of a 30-yard screamer. But sometimes, like you said, you do maybe, I'm trying to think of the word, complicate things, and you think it needs to be this and that, but it really doesn't. Like I keep saying to people, football's a simple game. So yeah, like in terms of the Crew goal, hopefully we can start scoring goals like that, where it's just simple, basic football, but we're scoring goals at the end of it. Because from defensive to middle thirds, I do really think we're a match for anybody in the league. But it's obviously just them finer details in the final third now.
No, yeah, definitely. And I think Freeze touched on it before, but obviously I think, I imagine this has been brought up in pretty much any interview you've ever done, but under 17s Euros champion, would it be right? And from what I can tell, did you score a penalty in the shootout in the final?
I did, yes. I've still got the video. My dad was obviously recording us doing the walk up and obviously the penalty, so I've still actually got it on my phone, which I'll never delete. It'll be with me forever, as you can imagine. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Representing your country at any age group I can't explain it. It's something that beyond your wildest imagination. So to receive the call up and to represent my country at a major tournament, and then to go on again and win it, ultimately, it was something that nobody can take away from us, I'm a under 17 champion. Like I said, doesn't matter what age group. I feel like my age group was the real kickstarters in terms of all the success the age groups have had, and obviously going through to the senior teams now. Like I look at some of the lads I played with in that team, and some of them are in the seniors now, which have gone on to have good careers and stuff. So yeah, like I said, that's something that will live with me for the rest of my life.
No, yeah, that's amazing. Just finally, going back to Bradford, I think you might be the first ex-Bradford player we've ever had where Bradford fans have come on and they've not slagged slagged the player off. They've actually been really positive, and like you said, it looks like you'd had a good time there, and it was nice to see. I think it's hard to tell from the away end, but it looked like they gave you a bit of a round of applause when you came on.
Yeah, they did, and obviously when I started off on the bench, you obviously warming up, keeping yourself warm. So when I went out to warm up was the first time I got a ripple from the crowd, and I'll be honest, I was a little bit took back by it because normally in football you get a bit of banter off the fans and stuff, and that's what I fully expected. But no, I honestly really enjoyed going back there. I wish I could have obviously been professional and stuck one in the net for my current team, obviously Morecambe, like I did when I went back there 2 seasons ago with Hartlepool. It was a bit of a weird one, that, because I was celebrating, but because I got a good reception when I went back that day, I held my hands up. So it was a bit of I already done it, the damage was done, but in the end I just put my hands up. But yeah, like going back to Tuesday night, it was I love my time there, I really did. I played a lot of games for the club, and thankfully, I must have done something right in terms of on the pitch, because the fans respect me quite well. I'll always have a good place in my heart for Bradford City. And not just me, my family loved it there. Just the little pre-match routine for me dad and my granddad, just going to the Boozer in Bradford with the fans and mingling and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, not just my side, it was my full family loved it there. And I can honestly say as well that my family really impressed with the surrounding areas in terms of the boozers around in Morecambe and getting looked after by the club also on a Saturday at the stadium. So in terms of that, there's good similarities with the clubs. But yeah, like it was lovely to go back there on Tuesday, and like I said, there'll always be a good place in my heart for Bradford City.
Yeah, if you ask Ben Tolley how he got on the 2 games against Tranmere, he got dogs abuse for 90 minutes twice.
Oh, really? Well, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting that football banter, but it was the other way, and I was honestly took back, because even when I come on, I got a good ripple from the crowd, and yeah, like I said, it's just that mutual respect. They obviously seen I was a good footballer for them, and obviously from our side, it was I bonded really well with the fans. I loved them, and yeah, I obviously want that connection with our lot now. I'm just a genuine footballer. I try my hardest, and I mean that's all you really want from a footballer. Even if you're having an off day, as long as you're putting in 100%, then it goes a long way. Do you know what I mean?
Well, all we want from you now, Cal, is basically set up a few. That's all. I'm not bothered about the scoring. I'm sorry. Set other people up. Yeah. If we do get forwards in, set them up. That's what we want.
You asked for a hat trick earlier on the chat, but I actually, for my previous club last season, I got a hat trick of assists. So that's more my game, where I'm creating. I'm the one unlocking the defences normally. So I obviously need to chip in with more goals, of course, because I'm an attacking midfielder. But my game is based on my creativity. So I'm the one who's normally creating the stuff and being the assister. So if I can get another hat trick of assists on Saturday, that'll be a good start, won't it?
That will definitely do for me. Definitely do for me.
Just one will do.
Yeah, well, yeah, one will do. Yeah, you're right. I'm not being greedy. Right, we're going to wrap up now. Thank you very much, Cal. Good luck on Saturday. I hope you do get a start. But if you don't, you know what it's like. Tired legs, 25 minutes to go. You come on, you can change it. Be positive.
That's it. I think football's going away from being called substitutions to now being called game changers. So just like I said, if I'm in from the start, then happy days. But if I'm not, then I'll obviously be waiting in the wings to hopefully come on and affect the game. Absolutely.
Well, even if you look up and see a really quick lad with a beer belly in space, give him it.
I'll try my best.
Callie said some really positive things there, mate. Really, really nice to meet you. And if you actually what you said there, we've got some really positive things to look forward to this rest of the season. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just obviously want to say, just obviously thank you for inviting us on to the podcast. It's been a pleasure, and if you ever want us again, just obviously give us a shout, and I'll be more than happy to come on.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have you back on when we've got that 5 wins in a row.
No pressure, then,
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much, lads.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Joel, have you got anything from the trust before we wrap up?
Not a great deal. Just kind of ticking over with things, really. Obviously, unfortunately, as we've now, well, as I'm speaking today, but obviously when you're listening to this, yesterday we unfortunately had to cancel the Notts County and Newport coaches. Just unfortunately, there wasn't a particularly big uptake on them, and while we were able to kind of do a bit of a big last minute push for Bradford last week, as we thought there was a bit of room for getting people on that coach, I think going forward we are probably going to have to be a little bit, potentially a little bit stricter with how we run the coaches and making sure that they're not running at a massive loss. So all I can really do is I know it's not always the easiest to know exactly where you're at with in terms of planning ahead, but if you are able to, please do book on the and you are planning to travel to an away game, please do book on as early as possible, really, so we can just get a clearer idea of numbers, and we're more likely to be able to offer coaches for the remaining games this season. But to kind of change the tone to maybe something a bit more like Memorial Garden. It's getting pretty close to completion now. I don't have a complete final date just at the moment, but hopefully we'll be able to announce something in the next couple of days, and obviously a bit about how people can go about getting plaques for it. And yeah, it's been a long road, but big thanks to Matt Newsham for kind of really taking it by the scruff of the neck over this past kind of 9 months to a year or so, and I'm really shoveling it over the line. It's been fantastic to see that come to fruition. And I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last one, but obviously we had one of our trustees, Ben Kasser. He went in front of the a parliamentary committee, a Westminster Media Forum, and spoke a bit about kind of the perspective from us as Morecambe fans and us as a fans trust about the kind of what we want to see from the football governance bill. And obviously there's lots of things that we try and do as a trust, and I think we're in quite a unique position. There wasn't too much other fan representation at the media forum that Ben was at, so it was, I think, something worth shouting about, the fact that he was there and putting forward some of the issues that we've kind of gone through, how we feel things could be improved for the better. So yeah, I think that's worth shouting about as well.
Yeah, very much so. I agree. And Charlie, thank you for your patience. We come to you. Obviously, we've touched on the possibility of Derek scouring the country for a centre forward, but particularly from the Peter Lee Sunday League.
Yeah.
Anything else happening on the board front? Obviously, there was a meeting last night with the Shrimps Trust online, which I know it was tabled. But anything else happening?
Hopefully, Tony will be publishing the answers to questions that were asked. I've seen on social media that people have been saying, why aren't the club communicating and answering these questions? Well, I don't think that they all know about the trust. We have a monthly meeting with James and Rod.
Yeah.
Just if people didn't know on the listen to this monthly meeting, any questions you can email to the trust, they will get answered. We're very good. I think we're very direct communicators, honest communicators, and Graham and Rod could not have worked harder in the last month. They've worked on Morecambe Football Club, and they don't get paid for it, and they've got their own business.
No.
James is a hero as well. Mick's been working with Derek about this the EFL, so there's no updates, but we're so lucky to have those four guys. It's just wanting to turn a corner.
All we need now are a couple of wins to give us the hope again.
Everyone's positive. Everyone's behind the club. The fans are doing. So much noise at the games. It's brilliant. You just got to Callum's a great guy there. He talks a good game, but I do believe him. I think he's a very genuine character, and if he can influence a few games coming up, get some new signings in, we should be all right.
Yeah, and I touched upon what you said there because I was like, oh yeah, it could be 2 or 3, and that's good enough for me because we just need a little bit of. I think the squad needs a bit of oomph. Obviously, we brought Callum in and we brought a keeper in for Stu Moore, who's going to be out for a bit longer. It's just sad about Lee Angol because obviously, as you said, he's come back and you don't want to get sent off and have 3-game ban, but we suffered it. It does seem like, Joel, everything's conspiring against us, doesn't it? We've had numerous dodgy decisions, I think we've had 5 or 6 deflected goals against us, but not had a deflection go our way in anybody else's box. And I think that's possibly down to, you're touching on the fact that our shooting opportunities are perhaps not as open and etc. But when it comes down to it, like I've said, if you remain positive and 3 or 4 wins, and all of a sudden teams above us are starting to look and think, there's always somebody from now to the end of the season who drops off, and there's always somebody who has a good run. Now, I'm not saying that is going to be us, but looking at it positively, there's people got out of worse situations than this, Joel.
Yeah, no, it's happened before. You've seen teams go on insane runs. Not saying it will get necessarily quite to the level that Doncaster did last season.
No.
Teams do go on wacky runs. Teams fall off. 3 or 4 months ago, it looked like Swindon were finished. Looked like they were absolutely finished in it. And actually, I'd say probably after we beat them at their place, it looked like they were done for. Well, not done for, but you know what I mean. They looked in real trouble. Looked like Holloway wasn't gelling. Looked like they were just on a bit of a downward spiral. But then it's kind of clicked and they've kicked on, and now I don't really consider them as much in the relegation fight, to the point where when they were playing Tranmere on Tuesday night, I was willing them on because I can see Tranmere is more in the fight now. So it can change, and look, we'd ideally like to turn the corner a bit earlier, but we haven't, but there are still a good few games to go. I think it's scoring goals. I think a couple of interesting things. I think if we look at our record against teams around us, it's excellent. It's really, really good. And that's a positive. It's just about being able to get a few points from more mid-table and upper table teams. Not turn them over every week, but just be able to, because there are some decent sides up there, but like
avoid defeat.
Avoid defeat, and like in the way that we've competed with them, it's just maybe when they've got that extra bit of quality and kind of fluency that teams around us haven't got, they find a way to unpick the lock and break us down and show a bit of quality to score a few, whereas the teams around us don't as much, and we're able to kind of gradually grind things down and get ahead. So I think it shows we're a decent side. We maybe probably do need a bit more reinforcements up front to maybe grab a few goals, make things more comfortable against teams around us, stick a few wins, stick a few goals in against teams in the top half of the table, and hopefully we can go from there.
Well, there are plenty of games left. There's a lot of points to play for. 57 points to play for. It's a lot of points. So while I do feel for the people who are, and I'm after the Crewe game, I was fairly doom and gloom. I really, really was. But then you look at it in the cold light of day, and you think, well, hang on, if we go down, let's go down fighting, and we're not going to be relegated until it's mathematically impossible not to stay up. So you've always got a bit of hope. So
57 points, that puts us on 77, I think. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a playoff place, isn't it?
Yeah, damn right. I think so. Yeah, why not? We'll definitely need a couple of strikers for that, though. So thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Joel, as usual. We will be back next week to dissect the Fleetwood game and hopefully talk about Callum Cooke's very, very, very influential through balls that set up all 3 goals. Thanks for listening or watching. We'll see you next week.
Have a shrimps.